About the UK Plastics Pact. It's a big announcement today. We're going to be talking to two of the women behind it, but first, let's just have a look at the scale of the problem when it comes to plastics. The UK produces on average 2.4 million tonnes of plastic packaging every single year, and at the moment we recycle less than half of that. About 43% gets used again. The rest, as we've seen recently, ends up in places like our oceans, as Naga was saying. About 42 of the UK's biggest brands, including Lucozade and Pizza Hut, have joined together to sign this pledge. Together, these lot, they're responsible for about 80% of the plastic packaging that we're talking about. And this is what they're promising. By 2025, so about 7 years from now, all of the plastic that they use and that they produce will either be recyclable, reusable, or compostable. Now, Amy Goldsmith is from Procter & Gamble, which has signed this pledge and is in our London newsroom now. And Helen Bird is from the sustainability organisation WRAP and joins me in the studio. Thank you very much for coming in. Helen, we're going to start with you. This is being billed as, you know, a really big pledge, a world-leading first, I guess, if you like. But the supermarkets and the retailers, they've been moving this way already, you know?
Yeah, and it's really great that we can build on the work that has happened to date. And what really is unique about this initiative is it's about the whole of the value chain coming together, united behind a common set of really ambitious targets.
Amy, I know you make much of the stuff that's under certainly my kitchen sink, but also in bathrooms across the country as well. What are you doing to make those products more recyclable?
Yeah, so we're absolutely delighted as Procter & Gamble as being one of the founding signatories to the WRAP Plastic Pact here in the UK. Core to our business is being responsible, and we've already made great progress over the last 10 years with around 90% of our packaging already now recyclable or programmes in place to be able to recycle it. However, that's not enough. We need to continue that journey. And through partnerships such as the one with WRAP here in the UK, we're very committed to make sure that we go that extra mile to get to the full 100% of packaging being either recyclable, reusable or compostable. And it's that partnership piece that's going to help us.
Helen, the thing about all of this is if you get rid of the plastics, what are you going to replace them with? We were talking this morning about Co-op Pizza, and they've taken away the polystyrene discs that you would get under their pizzas, and they put cardboard in. But aren't we just replacing one problem with another? We just end up cutting down more forests.
So it's really important that we think about all of these issues really holistically. So for example, with plastics, you know, yes, we do really need to question, is plastic the right material to use? But thinking about it more sustainably. So, for example, plastic packaging also often does a really, really good job to prevent food waste. And that's really, really important in terms of carbon. So to give you a good example, a cucumber is wrapped in plastic. And that extends the shelf life of that cucumber from 3 to 14 days. And that's really, really important. But, you know, you're right, we do need to think about alternatives as well. And in some cases, moving to fibre-based materials like card can be the most sustainable thing to do.
Now, Amy, one of your big brands is Pampers. It's the biggest brand that you have worldwide, and it's actually been the leading brand of disposable nappies since, I think, like 1961 or something. Lots of parents very concerned, very uncomfortable with all the nappies that they're throwing away. So what are you doing to make things like that a lot more recyclable?
Yeah, I mean, I've got twin boys myself. They're 12 now, so well out of the nappies stage. But it was a concern to me as well. And all products have an impact on the environment. We are groundbreaking territory at the moment on nappy recycling. We're the first nappy brand to have opened an industrial-sized recycling plant down in Italy. And we're looking at trying to bring that technology now to the UK to recycle absorbent hygiene products and generate products that come out the other end which have worth. So it's that waste to worth argument. And being able to recycle the plastics, the supersorber and the cellulose that go into nappies. So it's a big priority for us over the next few years.
Helen, there is quite a lot of confusion about what you can recycle, what you can't, which parts are the same product. Do you have any tips for people who are trying to work all of this out? You know, do you have any rules that they might be able to follow?
Yeah, so one of the examples here was about the plastic bottle. So the very best way to recycle a plastic bottle is actually to give it a little squish and then replace the plastic lid back on it. And what that will mean is that the lid will go on to be recycled as well as the bottle, because otherwise the lid gets lost in the first stage of the recycling process designed to remove contamination. Another thing that people could do is look at the label on the packaging, because there's useful information. But under the Plastics Pact, one thing that we really want to look at is making sure that people have really clear and consistent messaging on pack. And another really good thing that people could do is when they finished a drinks carton that has a straw in it, is actually to poke the straw back inside the carton, and that will make sure that the straw gets recycled as well as the carton.
Great, good advice. Thank you so much, Helen. Thank you very much, Amy, as well, for joining us from London. So there you go, lots of different tips. There is more on the BBC website if you want to have a look for tips and tricks on how you can recycle a little bit better.